people get involved in your campaign. They say, you know what, I love this woman, I love what she's doing, she's fighting for us. This is John Villarreal reporting for Conservative New Media. Obama and a lot of his people are doing nothing to abuse these people of their notions that it's us versus them instead of all of us together. And now, let's not forget, because it isn't just an African-American white thing, let's put the Hispanics in this mix here, what he's trying to do to Arizona. People are dying down there. Americans are dying down there. Hardworking taxpayers are dying down there. And we've got drugs flowing in down there almost unabated, even though we have great men and women of the Border Patrol and local law enforcement. And I think we may even have National Guards people down there, I believe, that are doing their darndest, and DEA and everybody else, to try to control this thing, but they're not getting the full support. In fact, of the government, in my personal opinion. In fact, we've got Eric Holder suing Arizona because they're trying to protect their citizens. I mean, what's going on here? Some would say it's simply naked politics to get Latino votes, Hispanic votes. This is a problem, okay? We need a government and elected officials that are for everybody. And what we saw today, what we heard on that tape, what we saw in this video is so shocking. It goes to the core of our republic. It goes to the core of the legitimacy of this administration. Now, I'm not one for impeachment or anything like that. The guy got elected. He's in there for 4 years. We're going to have to deal with it. But we have an election in 2010 in November. That's about 100 days away. And believe me, people, good, hardworking people in America, of all colors, shapes, sizes, and stripes, are going to be hurt at the ballot box because we reject this. Mr. Obama, we reject this. Mrs. Obama, we reject this. Mr. Reverend Wright, we reject this. Mr. Eric Holder, Miss or Mrs. Rodriguez, etc., etc., and definitely we reject this, Mrs. Sherrod. This is garbage. It's garbage. If that wasn't enough, Miss Sherrod or Mrs. Sherrod went on in the second video, as Fox News says, quote, there are jobs at USDA, and many times there are no people of color to fill these jobs because we shy away from agriculture. I don't know if that's true or not. We hear the word agriculture and think, why are we working in the fields? She said, you've heard a lot of layoffs. Have you heard of anyone in the federal government losing their job? That's all I need to say, unquote. I mean, that quote is so total, utter, maximum fail on so many levels, it's not even funny. And again, goes to the heart of the whole situation, which is, hey, it's government. We never run out of money. That's a whole different other thing there.
The story is a real shocker, but unfortunately, as you detailed, and the stuff about Reverend Jeremiah Wright and Trinity Church and Henry Louis Gates, the Black Panther issue, it's not completely surprising. And it's very unfortunate to say that. But I know Glenn Beck did a show the other day, and he was talking about kind of giving the background of liberation theology. Liberation theology is the kind of social justice gospel with gospel plus Marxism type of stuff, apparently. Anyway, Reverend Wright was steeped in liberation theology. Barack Obama has made comments that basically are right from liberation theology, and Beck pointed that out. The problem with liberation theology and that mindset is that there are the oppressed and there are the oppressors. And if you are part of what is labeled as the oppressors, then, pretty much anything can be done with you. It doesn't matter. You're not a person. You don't matter. That's why we heard the Black Panther guy saying that cracker babies, can be killed and all this stuff. It's like you don't exist.
And let's not forget.
What's happening is this woman, the Shirley Sherrod, her words about kind of blowing off apparently this white farmer, well, to a lot of people, that's going to sound a lot like this liberation theology, Black Panther gobbledygook. And that's a very bad thing for Barack Obama and the Democratic Party heading into the 2010 elections.
I agree with that, and needs to be rejected in the most strongest terms possible. And where's the NAACP now? Where are they now? I want to see them on all the freaking TV shows, just like they've been for the last, Mr. Justice and all the rest of them, talking about the racist elements of Tea Party, and some sign that may have been not there, that may have been doctored, as we saw some of the people, apparently from the reports I saw, they had doctored Photoshop pictures that they were circulating about the racist, Tea Party signs. In other words, they weren't there, or maybe some of these people were paid to be there in plants, as we know that. No, here is someone at your dinners, bro. Okay, who was a featured speaker, from what I understand, and an Obama administration official, and you said nothing. Okay, that's a freaking facial. That's ownage. That's freaking ponage is what that is. Okay, I mean, now, before we even close this out and forget about this, let's put it in another circle. Let's put it all together even more. Let's not forget the insults to Gordon Brown and the Queen, and with the gift exchange and all that type of stuff, and blowing off that, and blowing off the British, Prime Minister, if I remember this right, and blowing off of Netanyahu, and punking out Israel, because he wanted to seem, in my personal opinion, and all these overtures, the Cairo speech, we're going to be nice with Iran, we're going to be nice with Hamas, we're going to be nice with Hezbollah. That's my personal opinion. I mean, there's no secret as to, it's not rocket science as to why most people in Israel, and now even a lot of American, Jewish people, feel like Barack Obama is not a friend of Israel. Okay? And so when you put this all together, and then recently, Obama was upset because of the bombing from the World Cup in Uganda over Al Qaeda, and said, an African nation, this and that, whatever. We did a video on that, and or we talked about it. It's like, dude, wasn't it bad enough that it's like they kill people? What does it matter if it was racial or not racial? They freaking killed people, bro, who were just trying to watch soccer. Why does it matter what race they killed? Or if they were killed in Africa or in Iceland? Or in Indiana? Or what? No, I mean, that's Homeland Security. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it seems like all this administration thinks about is race. Like, I don't get it, Paul. This is crazy. And I mean, they're punking out all of our allies. This is scary stuff with this administration. Yeah, look, this is, you said it all. We don't want this. This is not what America is about. We want to look forward, not backward. We're not looking for people that are looking for payback or reparations or retribution. It's time to move forward. This was supposed to be a post-racial administration, but it's been anything but, or at least that's what a lot of people feel.